Okay, this is Axis and Allies. It is a 2 to 5 player game. It takes about, let's say, probably about 3 to 4 hours to play. Basically, the game is set in spring 1941, and the world's at war. So this recreates the global theater of World War II. There are 5 factions in the game. You have the United States, the United Kingdom, Russia, Germany, and Japan. So there are several different versions of the game. They're standalone, but inside the box you can expect about the same stuff inside both the box with just a little variations. You have some cards here which will describe what everybody has at the very beginning of the game, each faction. You have all of the figs, lots and lots and lots and lots of plastic figures representing all of your soldiers, all of your planes, all of your ships, and everything you'll be moving on the board to fight. You have money. Part of the game is not only the strategic battle, but the economic battle. So you're constantly trying to catch up with, as you lose units, trying to replace them trying to get them to the front so they can fight. And then you have some player aids to help you keep the game straight. Again, these kind of vary with every different version of the game. Okay, Axis and Allies also comes with a pretty detailed rule book. There are 39 pages here of rules and situation setups and things like that. Interesting thing about this game, the rule book is pretty hefty. They do go into a lot of detail, but the detail is really there to help you out. It's not terribly complicated, and the game is really user-friendly once you start playing. This is Axis and Allies, Battle of the Bulge. This is a 2-player only version of Axis and Allies, and this one is about the same length, about 3 to 4 hours. Now, the players in this game, first of all, you'll notice the map is very small. The players have to contend with not only moving through the world, but trying to break the static line that happened during the Battle of the Bulge. So the players will not only have to contend with fighting the enemy, but fighting off the attrition through the loss of supplies. So the supply rules are a little bit different in this game, and it's going to create a different type of tension than the regular game does. Okay, this is Axis and Allies, Guadalcanal. This is also a 2-player game. They claim it's a little bit shorter, about 2 or 3 hours to play it. Now this one, in contrast to Battle of the Bulge, is more a logistical battle. You're going to be concerned with moving your units from island to island. So you're going to have to be arranging transport. You're going to have to be moving through the islands, and you're going to have to be clearing out the enemy from those islands. So you still have to contend with supply issues, like some of the other Axis and Allies games, but this one is really more about moving through the islands and clearing out the enemy. So this particular version of the game features an interesting looking little box that you could use to kind of corral the dice, and kind of use it as a sort of dice tower, if you will. Axis and Allies D-Day is for 2 to 3 players. Probably take about the same amount of time, about 2 to 4 hours to play it. This particular game is more of a knockdown, drag-out fight than the other Axis and Allies. There is a little bit of the supply chain, because the Germans have reinforcements that come in throughout the game, and the Allies have to fend it off. But other than that, it is really just a knockdown, drag-out fight. Not as much of economy or politics, unlike the other Axis and Allies games. So this would be good if you just want to sit down and blow some stuff up. Okay, this is an Axis and Allies Europe. Axis and Allies Europe is for 2 to 4 players. It'll take about 2 to 4 hours to play. This particular game focuses specifically on the European theater, as the name says. So the Japanese faction is not in this game. Okay, so as a result, all of the special events, all of the economic crises or the economic windfalls, and all of the political things that happen in the stock Axis and Allies game, it's just restricted to the European theater. So it allows you to focus in on just Europe. Okay, so this is Axis and Allies. It's your entry-level war game. It's what a lot of people started off with. The revised edition shows add some neat little random encounters and tweaks the economy a little bit to try to make it a little bit easier. But if this isn't big enough, have we got a game for you? This is Axis and Allies, the Anniversary Edition. This guy's a limited run. As of this print, we have them, but you know, when you see this video, who knows, because it's only going to be here for a short period of time. So check the website, you know, to see whether we have it or not. Okay, first thing you should know about this is it's a big box. Okay, according to the back of the box, the thing is 2 feet by 4 feet once we fold it out. There's 3 boards in here that fold out to fit the table. That's about the size of this table here. And you have to consider that there's other things. You have your pile of miniatures that you have to have. You have all of your player aids. You have your money. You have everything else that needs to be. So this is a big game. They've added a couple of things to the Anniversary Edition. First thing you'll notice is that the map has gotten a major facelift. I mean, gone are just a simple monocolored parts for the factions, and it's been replaced by a somewhat realistic looking map. Another thing that this guy has is it has roughly double the figures of the original game. The original game has 340 miniatures in it. This one has over 650. In addition, the game adds a new faction. Italy comes into play. There's also some Chinese figures, but that's more of a non-player. And there's also a new sea unit, the cruiser. Other than that, it pretty much runs like the old game. There's a little bit more setup involved because of the new faction. All in all, a really good way to celebrate Avalon Hill's 50th anniversary.